Crawling through the wreckage of my stubborn mind, quarters piled up on the rusted metal box, rain pouring down the shattered glass booth, dialing her number till my fingers bleed. Operator saying she disconnected the line. Suffocating in the stench of wet cigarettes, staring at the neon sign buzzing across the street. I treated her love like a cheap motel. Now I'm locked outside in the freezing rain. Her voice in my head is getting hard to hear. Swallowed whole by the midnight city lights, dropping the heavy receiver on the dirty floor. Memory of her touch fading like a bruise. My own foolish game made me lose the prize. No one answering the line tonight, just a dead tone in my ear. Lost the only one I held dear. Crushed under the weight of my foolish pride, scrubbing 2 coffee mugs in the cracked sink. Water turning cold on my calloused hands. Found a lipstick stain on the ceramic rim. I washed away the only proof she was here, just like I chased away the only love I had. Now her memory is fading in the dark. Freezing frost creeping up the window glass,
staring at the empty driveway in the dawn.
I locked her out when she needed me most,
Too busy feeding my own selfish ego. I washed away the only proof she was here,
just like I chased away
the only love I had. Now her memory is fading in the dark.
Oh, spill the bitter coffee grounds on the floor,
Kneeling in the dirt,
trying to clean my mess, just like trying to fix a shattered heart. I swept up the dirt, but you can't sweep up the regret. I pushed her until she broke. Now I'm the one scattered on the floor. I'm suffocating under this minimum wage, trapped like a dying dog inside a dirty cage. Wiping freezing sweat right my face. Blistered hands washing off the factory grind. Losing my grip, trying to beat the clock in time. Dirty mattress waiting at the end of the line. Rusted heels. Paralyzed by the grip of yesterday's sins, holding a torn ticket from our last train ride. A coffee mug gathering dust on the shelf, engine block freezing in my rusted out truck. I pushed her away with my bitter rough hand. Chasing a ghost in this barren land. Memory fading like smoke in the rain. She wrote me last spring, watching the paper curl in the metal barrel. Sparks flying up into the bitter black sky. Couldn't say sorry when I had the chance. I pushed her away with my bitter rough hands. Now I'm chasing a ghost in this barren land. Memory fading like smoke in the rain. Cold engine won't start anymore. Locked myself out of her heart's door. Fading away. Oh, dead inside since I slammed the heavy door. Dust settling on the shelf where her shoes stayed. Closet staring back with 20 empty hangers. Wire scraping metal in the bitter night draft. My jealous rage packed her bags for good. Her face is getting blurry in my tired mind. another cheap paint, staring at the burnt toast, scraping the pan. I accused her of sins she never even thought. Now my own paranoia is eating my bones. Shadows on the wall don't look like her no more. Just an empty hanger swinging in the dark, swinging in the dark. My own damn fault. Poisoned by the words I couldn't take back. Empty side of the mattress feels like ice. Found a faded red dress in the laundry pile. Still smells like cheap wine and our last fight. I slammed my fist on the kitchen table, watch the fear sink deep in her brown eyes. Now her memory is a ghost in the hall. I broke the only safety she ever knew. Lost my angel because I played the fool. Inside, staring at the cracked ceiling paint, clock on the wall ticking like a heavy hammer, sweeping up the broken plates from the floor. Her footsteps fading down the gravel road. Tried to call her name, but my throat closed up like a rusted lock. Just a red dress and a broken fool. My own fault, I broke the golden rule. Hollow, staring at the setting sun, watching the fading ember. Now that the day is done, just a worn down man with nowhere left to run. Let the gentle breeze wash the pain away. Nothing left to worry about today. Old photograph fading in the evening light, making peace with the shadows of the night. Quiet tree, ticking clock is bringing me to my knees. Closing my heavy eyes in the morning chill, waiting for the whole damn world to just stand still. This freezing fall is tearing me apart. Dead doubts on is echoing in my heart. Staring at the ripped suitcase in the hall, knowing nobody is ever gonna call. Shadows in this empty room, waiting for the silence to become my tomb. Cold engine dying street, just another broken man admitting his defeat. Suffocating on the dust of my own damn lies, looking at a silver hairpin on the nightstand, smell of her vanilla soap fading from the towel, floorboards creaking where she used to pace around. My foolish mouth drove the only good thing away. Now I'm chasing a shadow in this empty room. Just a faded memory I can't drink away. Shattered glass from the bottle I threw last night, sweeping up the pieces of my broken temper. Her her coat is missing from the hall closet. Nothing left but cold air by the front door. My foolish mouth drove the only good thing away. Now I'm chasing her shadow in this empty room. Just a faded memory I can't drink away. Found a handwritten note under the old rug. Tear stains drying on the ink she left behind. Said she couldn't fix a man who loves the dark. I held that paper until my hands turned numb, knowing I built the cage that made her fly. Now the silence is the only thing talking back. Sleeping in this cold bed, fading away. Fading away. Swallowed whole by the silence she left behind. Found her old gloves under the passenger seat. Leather worn out from gripping my heavy hands. Smell of her skin almost completely gone. I bought the ticket that sent her away. Put her on the train because I couldn't commit. Watch the steel wheels roll down the iron track. My own damn cowardice broke her heart. on the platform with my collar up. Rusted ticket puncher lying on the bench, waiting for a train that already left town. Tried to picture her face looking out the glass, but the memory is blurring in the freezing fog. I let the best thing slip right through my grip. Now I'm paying the price in the freezing cold. Last train out. Burning in the hell I built with my hands. Watching ash drop in the chipped glass tray. Her reading glasses sitting by the lamp. Dust settling thick on the wooden frame. I promised I'd change, but the whiskey won. Couch in this freezing room, tracing her initials carved in the table leg. Unpaid light bill sitting on the counter. I couldn't pay the rent or pay attention. My careless mind drove her into the dark. Clock, looking but the man in the mirror. Rust on a promise I couldn't keep. Losing my mind while the city sleeps. Poison in my coffee cup, your old ashtray on the rug. I broke the trust we built. Now I'm staring at this empty chair. Clock ticks loud on the wall. My hands are covered in rust. Your cheap perfume still on the sheets. I drove you out the door. Street lamp flickers through the blind, dial tone humming in my ear. I earned this quiet hell. Lord, this graveyard shift is swallowing me whole. joints just to pay a heavy toll. Dead inside and shivering out in the bitter cold. Notice slowly going insane. Ain't no blood left to bleed from this open vein. Paralyzed by the rust on this iron clock, staring at cigarette burns on my left boot. Rain hitting the broken motel window blind. Nothing left but this cold black coffee. Swallowed whole by the graveyard shift over time, dragging heavy bones across the wet gravel. Pawn ticket for my old pocket watch. Street lamp casting long shadows on the dirt. Choking on exhaust from the midnight freight train. Eviction notice folded in my ripped suitcase. No dial tone on the corner payphone. Bitter frost biting my tired, calloused hands. Freezing rain, washing dirt down the drain. Heavy boots stopping at the dead end. Gutted by the silence in this empty hall, staring at the crack in the bathroom mirror. Water dripping from the faucet won't stop. Washing my face to forget what I said. Her favorite record skipping on the turntable, needle digging deep into a scratched groove, just like my stubborn pride dug into her heart. Now the song just loops the same sad part. Crawling through the dark with my heavy boots, kicking the empty suitcase. I made a pack. Tire tracks washed away in the muddy driveway. Rain and rain was here.
Tried to call a sister from the corner payphone. Downtown buzzing like a hornet in my ear. I broke the only promise I swore I'd keep. Now I'm paying the tab while the devil sleeps. Just a scratched memory on a broken machine. My own heavy hands ruin the dream.
Needle keeps skipping. Poisoned by the words I couldn't take back. Rocking chair sitting still in the freezing fog. Dead leaves blowing across the wooden porch. Her gardening gloves rotting in the wet dirt. I laughed at her tears and I walked away. Now the shadows on the porch look just like her. But it's just my own guilt playing heavy tricks. Memory fading out like the evening sun. Like a fish on the butcher's block, tracing the crack in the kitchen window pane, where I threw my coffee cup in a blinding rage. She swept up the glass and she took the keys. I thought I was king, but I'm just a clown. Now the shadows on the porch look just like her, but it's just my own guilt playing heavy tricks. Memory fading out like the evening sun. Lost the only thing that was good. I am paralyzed and chained to this freezing bed. Smelling that cheap perfume from the lies you said. Heavy bones aching from the tears I never shed. Oh, the midnight rain is beating on the door. I can't take this crawling misery no more. Blind and gutted down to my very core. Sweating blood for a woman who was keeping score. Walking down the gravel road in the dead of night, looking at my cracked mirror under the street lamplight, swallowed whole by the shadow, giving up the fight. On the door, I can't take this crawling misery no more. Blind and gutted down to my very core. keeping score. I found a pawn ticket stuffed inside your shoe. You sold my mother's silver and my gold watch too. Left me with this empty pine and a sky of gray. Packed your ripped suitcase and you drove away. I blistered my hands for 10 years. Overtime, every single week. And you traded my sweat for a handful of dirty dollar bills. Lord have mercy on my soul, because I sure don't have any left. Blinded by the mess I made of us. Rain washing her tire tracks out the dirt. Found her silver rings by the bathroom sink. Left them behind when she grabbed her coat. I yelled too loud and I pushed too hard. Watched her taillights fade in the winter fog. Just a shadow rearview mirror on the ground. I broke the mirror and I broke her trust. Quiet in this empty house. Dog keeps waiting by the heavy front door. Half-empty bottle of a favorite wine, turning sour just like my bitter heart. Tried to write a letter, but my hand just shakes. Ink bleeding out on the dirty line paper. I gambled her love on my foolish pride. Now the deal I collected, and I'm left alone. Rear view shattered. Torn apart by the echo of my mistake. Fading picture pinned to the drywall board. Sunlight bleaching the color from her smile. Heavy iron clock ticking loud on the shelf. I told her I didn't need her biggest lie that ever crossed my stubborn teeth. Now I'm begging the clock to turn it back. Sitting in the dark on a one-way track. Fading memory is all I get to keep. been reaching for her empty side, finding nothing but the cold electric blanket. I was too blind to see the gold in my hands. Threw it in the river for a moment of pride. Clock keeps ticking, but time stands still. Swallowing this bitter pill. Bleeding out from the pride I wouldn't swallow. A key still sitting by the front door lock. Ashtray overflowing with my cheap cigars. Yellow porch light buzzing in the freezing night. Left her standing in the rain while I drove off. Now her face is just a blur in my worn wallet. Scrubbing the stain where her bags used to sit. Calendar still stuck on the day I lied. Red ink crossed out our anniversary date. I built a wall out of anger, stubborn stone. Now I'm freezing to death in this house alone. Just a faded picture, and a whiskey